I forget your cups tonight, so we have a not nice cup, but it's a new bottle of juice. I know, but now I don't know where I put them. I did. I forgot them, got them, and then forgot them again. I know, exactly. Somehow I messed it up. So I messed it up. It all. The all of this. Cups. No, we just have plastic cups. That's okay. They're just not our. It's a new kind. Don't try it yet. Don't try it yet. You hope that. We love you. All right, we're gonna begin in just a sec. Do you want me to poke it? Rabbi Michael.
Charming guy.
It's my boyfriend.
You have a boyfriend? מתחיל כזה?
מה כזה?
You want to...
Oh.
Just a little bit more.
No, it's too. Oh, it's too.
Hey, my favorite audience members here in the synagogue.
All right, welcome everyone. Shabbat Shalom. So if you are watching tonight, we are guessing that you may need this Shabbat. We know that for so many of us, this has been a week of high anxiety, so we are asking you to just join with us for the next 40 minutes or so and just have some time to turn off the rest of your screens, to not check any numbers, to just be with us in this moment and let our voices and our spirits call out to God and find just a moment or so of peace as we move into Shabbat. So we're going to start by singing the words, Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Let us raise our voices in strength to God. Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Vayai Yeshua, Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Vayai Yeshua, Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Vayai Yeshua, Ozi v'zimrat Yah. So we begin our Shabbat experience together each week, lighting our candles and drinking a little wine and having some challah to bring in our Shabbat experience. Tonight in particular, we are thinking of the Overbo family, because Eli is going to become bar mitzvah tomorrow. And I will tell you, for those of you who are able to tune in, my words are not coming tonight.
It's all right. That's why there's two rabbis here. We can disagree on everything. And then maybe somebody out there will make some sense out of it.
All right, well, my point was going to be, don't listen to what we say, because Eli's bar mitzvah is going to be so awesome that you should just tune in tomorrow. So clearly we're showing that in more way than one. But since he can't be here tonight because of everything that's going on, we're going to invite Jonah and Molly to come on up and help us. So if you'll help us light our Shabbat candles first, my friends.
You know, I like the cover, but it's like really hard to take it all out.
Well, purple grape juice.
Is it sparkling?
Oh, it's still sparkling. Okay.
We would encourage all of you to try different grape juices as well. And lighten your Shabbat.
It's like grape juice fire.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, we bring in that Shabbat spirit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. And then if you'll raise your cups, I apologize, I forgot the fancy cups at home. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. All right, and then we have a very yummy smelling challah. You're not a fan of the grape juice? That's okay.
I don't think she likes the sparkling.
Not the sparkling for you?
All right, can you uncover the challah, please? This beautiful challah from Mora Diane.
Wow.
Beautiful. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. All right, take a little taste and then come on over. So we take this opportunity to bless children if you have children who are with you, or you can call on the phone. And in particular this week, when so many of our children are going back to school in a different way than they've been in a while, we know this is a time when we offer special blessings to our children. So we start with our sons.
Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. May God make you great like Menashe and Ephraim, who learned and studied even though they were in Mitzrayim, even though they were in Egypt.
Yisimech Elohim Kasar Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like Sarah and Rebecca, Rachel and Leah, the matriarchs of our people, each different in her own way, but leaders of our people. And together we say, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yechunecha.
May God's light shine upon you and guide you on your way.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's countenance be lifted over you and grant you with wholeness and peace. Shabbat shalom. Take the whole plate. We'll be classy. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, God.
So this idea of blessing our children and blessing our family, part of why it's important is because we know that in Judaism you don't need to be a rabbi to give a blessing, and that really we are encouraged to find ways to bless our family and friends each time when we're together. And so we decided tonight that we would sing one of those favorite special blessings that didn't start as liturgy but has sort of become it. And we hope if you know it, you'll sing along. May the Lord protect and defend you. May God always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Israel a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the stranger's ways.
May God bless you and grant you long life.
May the Lord fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you.
May God keep you and shield you from
May
strife.
God in God's wisdom always care for you.
May the Lord protect and defend
May the Lord protect and
May
defend
God
you.
always shield you from
May
shame.
God always shield you from shame.
Favor us, O Lord,
Favor us, O
with
Lord,
happiness and
with
peace.
happiness.
Oh,
Hear our Sabbath prayer. Amen. We know that so much of what we do is really about offering blessings. It's about offering blessings to the ones we love, and it's about offering blessings to this community as we call each other to the sacred moment. And that's what we do with the words of the Baruch Hu. We call each other and say, are you ready to offer your blessing to the world? And so we do that with this prayer. We invite you to sing along with us. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da da da. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. I invite you now, if you will, to take a moment and cover your eyes. Even if you're at home and there's no one else around, take this moment and close out our faces. Make it so that you cannot see the table in front of you, the chair underneath you, the walls around you. Take this moment, close your eyes, and when you do so, think of the oneness of our world, of the oneness of God, and what it means for us to truly find ways to be one with each other. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. This has been a strange week. And I know last Friday night we were standing here and we were wondering what this Friday night was going to be like. And over the week, as we've looked around our city and we've seen at times stores and storefronts boarded up, wondering what was going to happen this week, it has been an amazing blessing to feel that there has been so little violence, so few people taking to the streets in anger or frustration. Now we know that the days ahead may be rough as well, but we pray, God, that you will spread a shelter of peace over all of us wherever we go, reminding us that somehow we are going to have to find a way to get through all of this together. And so, God, spread your sukkah of peace over us so that we may find a way to do so. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chayim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. לשלום, בהעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Amen. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. God, spread your shelter of peace over all of us. And so too, God, we ask that you spread your shelter of peace, not just over us and our city, over us and our country, but over everyone in the world. Find a way to grant us that most precious gift of peace with your Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi La'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi La'olam. Ki ata melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi La'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi La'olam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol itz uv'chosha b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi La'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasi La'olam. Each time we come together to pray on Shabbat, we don't only take the time to be able to try and build community in this strange new way, not just to praise God, not just to pray for peace, but to pray for those who are in need of healing. And each week it seems like our list gets longer and longer, but we know that that means that you are listening. We know that it means that there are people in your lives and in your family circles that you are praying for, and it is a blessing for us to be able to pray for them as well. Because we know that sometimes we are able to take their names off this list to find that, in fact, they have found the healing that each of us desires. And so tonight in particular, we're thinking of Arlene Alper. We're thinking of Luca. We're thinking of Charles Beach and Jerry Krause, of Meredith Berkowitz and Tyler Testa, of Gabriel Hirschberg, of Judy Schulman, and of Susan Lauder. For all of them and for all of us, we sing our Mishabera. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor Bracha Le'yamotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu Mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. Ose shalom bimromav huya ase shalom aleinu ve'yakol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Say shalom bimromav huya ase shalom aleinu ve'yakol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. So occasionally people will ask, what is it that makes Temple Israel so special? And I know that depending on who is asking, and perhaps more importantly, who is answering, that the answer is going to be different. For some people, TI is special because it's just been their home for generation upon generation. For some people, it is about the worship or the education. Some people, it's about the rabbis. Some people, it's about the community. Everyone has different reasons, but I will tell you that for me, one of the things that makes TI so special, one of the things that makes me love our community so much, is that we are absolutely, unabashedly, and perfectly purple. You see, I wore a purple dress. You get that? Yeah. So we are a purple congregation. And what that means is not just that if you were to survey our 850 or so households, that not only would you find that you would probably have exactly half who voted red and half who voted blue, but you would find that there is also a real mix of why, that we have people who perhaps are Democrat in every ways except for one when it comes to Israel, and then they vote Republican. And we have people who are diehard Republicans, except maybe there's just that one thing that gets them to vote Democrat. But whatever it is, here at Temple Israel, if these seats were filled, and I know even for those of you watching at home, you would find that we are a purple congregation. And most of the time, that is really amazing. Most of the time, what that means is that it enriches our conversations and it makes us truly feel like we are a diverse community. But there are times, and this would be one of them, where it is really, really hard to be purple. Because being purple means that right now, pretty much every single person who is watching has their stomach tied in knots and has for days. It means that everyone out there is a little bit nervous about what is to come. And so when Rabbi Michael and I tried to figure out what we were going to share with you tonight, and I will just say that we have gone through more sermons this week than probably...
It's almost a new high holiday.
Exactly.
And
we had so many different things that we wanted to share, but we realized that perhaps for our purple community, the best thing that we could do is to share for you a story that comes directly from the Talmud. So here it is.
A story of two rabbis, Rav Yochanan and Reish Lakish, who have unprecedented fame in the Talmud. These two characters are where our story is rooted and from which our story comes. We learn the story of Rav Yochanan, who happened to be an excellent scholar and also happened to be extraordinarily handsome. We also learn the story of Reish Lakish, who became a scholar and a rabbi, but at one point in his life, before he met Rav Yochanan, was a bandit. So the story goes, and the Talmud teaches, that there is a discussion that begins to build into an argument and ultimately breaks. The discussion that Rav Yochanan and Reish Lakish are having is about how one makes something that is a very, very unique instrument, a knife, and different kinds of knives, how they can be made kosher. How does something of such a nature become made kosher and fit? In the midst of the discussion, an argument breaks out, and Rabbi Yochanan says to Reish Lakish, well, you should know all about knives, since you were once a bandit. They each became offended, and they broke. And Reish Lakish's feelings were so hurt, he became ill, so ill that he suddenly died. Rav Yochanan, upon hearing this, his heart is broken, and all his friends, all the ones who surround him, try to make him feel better. So they agree with everything that he says, with all the different things that he discusses in Torah. They agree with him, and they say, yes, Rabbi Yochanan. And this disgusts him. He is completely turned off by it. And this act alone of consolation makes Rabbi Yochanan miss Reish Lakish even more. He said, with Reish Lakish, when I would state a matter, he would raise 24 difficulties against me in an attempt to disprove my claim, and I would argue back and answer with him with 24 answers. And the halacha, the law by itself, would become broadened and clarified with subtlety and nuance. Being around someone who disagreed with him, the Talmud teaches, made Rabbi Yochanan a better person. It is taught that Rabbi Yochanan screamed until his mind was taken from him. The rabbis prayed and requested for God to have mercy on him and take his soul. And at such time, Rabbi Yochanan died as well.
We didn't say it was a happy story, but it's a good one and important. Because we find that in the story of Reish Lakish and Rav Yochanan, that what made them such incredible scholars was because they disagreed about everything. And unlike perhaps in stories of other scholars like Hillel and Shammai, where you know sometimes who is right and who is wrong, you never really know that with Reish Lakish and Rav Yochanan. All you know is that they argued all the time, and their arguing made them better. Because the more they were able to hear from the other side, the more they knew. In some cases, the more they were able to sharpen and prove their own opinions, but sometimes it truly helped them to understand where the other was coming from. To be able to just sit and listen to people who think just like us does not make us better. We need to be able to be surrounded with people who believe and think some things that are different from us. That's what makes this community great. And that is one of the things that makes our country so incredible. And that's what we're going to need to remember. Whether it's tonight or tomorrow or a week from now or, God forbid, a month from now, whenever it is that we know who the next president of the United States will be, this is what we need to keep in mind. Because we know very well that half of this country is going to be thrilled and half are going to be devastated. And this is not like some football game where you just know that your team wins or loses and then you move on to the next game. No, this is about life and death for us and for our neighbors and for so many in our country. So my friends, if whenever that day comes, if your candidate of choice wins, and I hope for your sake that he does, If your candidate wins, I hope that you will remember that you have not actually won, because half of the country disagrees with what you believe. And you are going to need to work even harder to make sure that you understand where they are coming from, why they voted differently, and what you can do with them as partners to help make our community and our country better. The minute that you turn them off and shut them out is the minute that everyone loses. If your candidate wins, you have not won yet. You have to be able to spend the next 4 years or however long it takes trying to listen to those other voices, those voices who didn't win, because their voice still matters just as much as yours. And for my friends whose candidate does not win, if your candidate doesn't win, please remember that you need to still keep on fighting. Because all of the issues for which we are fighting, all of these different ways that we believe can make our country and our neighborhoods and our families strong, if this is what you believe, then keep fighting for it. It is not about whoever is in that seat in power. It is about us. And each of us does have the tools to be able to make our community and our world a better place. But it's not going to be about getting everyone to agree with us. It is going to be finding ways to sit down with those people who think differently than you, and to hear, as Reish Lakish and Rav Yochanan did, 24 arguments against what you are listening and believing to. You have to be able to hear each one of those arguments and see that there is truth there. See that there is something beautiful there. Because together, Reish Lakish and Rav Yochanan, they were able to create some of the wisest teachings in our tradition. It wasn't just one of them. It was both, one on each side. My friends, I know that there are so many of you who are ready to turn off those voices of people who disagree with you, and now is not the time. Because whoever wins, whether it's your guy or theirs, we still have to all be in this together. I pray that the week ahead is one in which we find some answers, but I also pray that it is one where we experience peace, where each of us remembers that there are tools that we can use to make this world a better place, but they cannot be those tools of violence from the story. We are taught that we should turn our spears into plowshares and into, I just forgot the rest of the term. Spears into plowshares and...
What I learned from your grandmother is that the way that you make a knife kosher is that you bury it.
That's really true, and Omo would love that. So let's find a way to bury our weapons, and that's the way that we will make them holy again, and maybe that's the way that we will make our community holy again. So this has been a difficult week for our congregation. This has been a difficult week for us. I feel like my brain is a little bit mushy, so thank you for your patience. We have all been watching our screens a whole lot as well, but we are in particular thinking of those who have lost loved ones this week, and our hearts go out to them and to their families as we recall their names. Pamela Hertz-Dollar, Shirley Gerchin, Carlotta Goldberg, Deborah Grodsky, Mark Kantrovitz, Bob Lewis, Kevin Moore, Marianne Prince, and Cammie Resnick. And we now recall the names of those, the anniversary of whose death occurs on the Shabbat, and whose names have been inscribed in the archives of our congregation or on the Wall of Honor for perpetual memorial. Benjamin Bernard, David Bloomberg, Kate Brick, Samuel Broderson, Abraham L. Brown, Andrea Kosberg Carlson, Harry H. Ephron, Dr. Marvin Ephron, Jack Stanley Fishman, Corinne Fuller Glazer, Charles Saul Glassman, Ben Glassman, Jack Goldring, Simeon Gollum, Barbara Gunther, Paul Heiling, Bruno Hollander, Juliette Schultz-Hyman, Susan Jacobs, Rennie Joachimstahl, Lina Kahn, Edward Koshner, Alvin N. Lasky, Jacob Loth, Irene E. Lowy, Lillian Euster Manny, Betty Jane Mitchell, Barry Stephen Oxenhandler, Harry S. Quicksilver, Sandra H. Redler, Nathan Rosenberg, Dorothy Rosenblatt, Ronald Sachs, Adolph A. Samuel, Herman Shermer, Lauren Beth Schwartz, Solomon Siegel, Jacob Scheinbein, Faye Silverman, Mignon K. Seitman, Bessie Babe Stein, Florence Sophir, Jerry S. Stein, Henrietta S. Steiner, Milton S. Sussman, Alfred Vorhaus, Henry Weil, Samuel Weissman, Lily Winner, Alvin A. Wolf, Herman S. Wolfheim Sr., Ida Zelson. So with these names and the names we keep in our hearts, we turn to the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divarach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv emru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mavarach la'alam omei amaya, yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitala shemei dekudisha barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tishbachata v'nechamata, ta'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved. And together we say, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. So though this has been a week of many ups and downs, I will say for those of you who voted this week, and I know many people voted in advance, but for me voting this week, and I know Rabbi Michael, you said the same thing, it was just a reminder to me of how amazing our country is. And it really is an incredible place that we are blessed to live in. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves of that there is so much to be grateful for here, and that each of us does have the opportunity to not only make it better, but to see it for all the beauty there is. It's that beauty and that safety and that glory and those freedoms that we want to be able to pass on to our children and our children's children. So we thought that this week of all weeks, we needed a song like this. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet, whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare of freedom beats across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw, confirm thy soul with self-control, thy liberty in love. God bless America. God bless the whole world. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.